A strange encounter. This happened to me about a year ago. Our final exams were coming up, and I still had a lot of studying left to do. Normally, our school library would close by 5 p.m., but since exams were near, the school decided to keep it open until midnight for students who wanted to study late. My house wasn't far from school, but I preferred the quiet and peaceful environment of the library. So, instead of studying at home, I usually spent my evenings there. That evening, I left home around 6 p.m. and reached the library soon after. I got so lost in my studies that I didn't even notice how much time had passed. When I finally looked at the clock, it was already 10 p.m. I had never stayed this late before. Usually, I left by 8 p.m., and even then, there were still a few students around. But at this hour, the library was completely silent. I had about 10 to 15 minutes of studying left, so I decided to quickly finish up before heading home. I was deep in concentration when suddenly I heard the sound of someone limping. My heart started pounding. I quickly packed my books and rushed out of the library. Outside, there was a long corridor leading to the school's main exit. At the end of the corridor, you had to turn right to find the door. As I hurried through the corridor, I suddenly noticed a woman standing at the far end. She wasn't moving. I had no idea who she was, but as I got closer, an uneasy feeling crept over me. The closer I got, the stronger the fear inside me grew. I couldn't take it anymore. "Who's there?" I called out. The moment I spoke, she disappeared. I let out a deep breath, relieved, and quickly exited the school. Exhausted and hungry, I could barely walk properly. But then I noticed something strange. The usually busy street was completely empty. This road was always crowded, even late at night, yet now there wasn't a single soul in sight. Fear gripped me tighter. I kept my eyes on the ground, focusing only on getting home as fast as possible. But then I saw a shadow stretching toward me, yet there was no one nearby. Slowly I lifted my head. A woman was walking in front of me. She moved oddly, as if she were struggling to walk, almost as if she was injured. She walked so slowly that I caught up to her in no time. When I got close enough to see her properly, chills ran down my spine. She was wearing dirty, tattered clothes. Her hands and feet were twisted unnaturally. Her hair was a tangled mess. Something about her seemed wrong. My instincts screamed at me not to go any closer. I stopped walking. Then, in a slow, eerie voice, she asked me, "Have you seen my daughter?" I was frozen in place. My mind went blank. I couldn't speak. Fear had completely paralyzed me. Desperate to get rid of her, I pointed in a random direction and said, "She went that way." Without hesitation, the woman limped toward the direction I had pointed. She walked farther and farther until she disappeared from my sight. Relief flooded me, but I was still terrified that she might suddenly appear again. I didn't wait. I ran as fast as I could. At that moment, nothing mattered except finding someone, anyone, a car, a passerby, just someone who could help me. Then, from a distance, I heard a horrifying scream. "She is here!" And then everything went black. When I regained consciousness, I was lying on the ground near my home. My neighbor had found me unconscious and carried me inside. Shaken, I asked him what had happened. He sighed and told me a story I had never heard before. In 1998, there was a woman named Agatha. She had a 10-year-old daughter who studied at Eden Hill School, the same school I attended. One tragic day, while playing with her friends, the little girl had a terrible accident and passed away. Agatha was devastated. She couldn't bear the loss of her only child. People say that after her daughter's death, Agatha lost her mind. She wandered the streets, searching for her daughter, calling out her name. And then, she, too, disappeared. Since then, There have been countless reports of a woman roaming near Eden Hills School, asking strangers the same haunting question: "Have you seen my daughter?" To this day, she is still searching for the child she lost. Music. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll be back soon with another creepy tale. Until then, take care and stay safe.